Hello and welcome to this video on the Erica Synths PICO low pass gate. Let's check out what's to come before we get into it. Now, like the other PICO modules, this is 3 HP wide, nice dinky little module, and it's a single channel low pass gate with real vactrols on the back to get that response. We have our audio input, audio output, an onboard decay envelope so we can trigger that vactrol behaviour and control the decay. We've got a VCA only mode, or the coupled VCF mode, which is that classic low pass gate that gets duller, you lose top end as the amplitude drops as well. We also have an offset to just open this up manually, it's great fun to play with, and a CV input to open and close this low pass gate as well. You can trigger it while modulating it for more dynamic patterns, and there's a jumper on the back to set the resonance. It is user configurable. With the jumper on, it's a much cleaner filter sound. And with it off, it's a lot more resonant, really chewy, biting resonance. So in this patch, I want to check out the response of the low pass gate in both the VCA and VCF modes. Here's the sound fully dry. It's the wavetable VCO, not being modulated, just a pitch sequenced. My gate into the trigger in. And here's the difference between those two modes. The jumper is on the back of the low pass gate, so it's less resonant than when that jumper is off. VCA, it's just that bit tighter. Let's start with the VCA. Nice, sharp, plucky, percussive sounds. Few to those notes feeling like they've got some hold and sustain to them. Now in the filter mode, in the low end and the lower mids, it just feels like there's a bit more body there. And it's great using CV or manually by hand. Certainly in the VCF mode, fitted in that up and down while things play. Now some nice noisy, characterful BBD, hi-hat, and my kick. I'm going to change the waveform. So here we're looking at getting dynamic amplitude and tonal control with the PICO LPG. Now I've got a trigger here and a repetitive clocked envelope. Removing the trigger. We can of course use the CV input with another envelope rather than triggering the onboard decay envelope, and one that you could say CV the decay of. Is going to be nice and dynamic, but simply mixing a different envelope triggered by a different rhythm, a different clock rate, a different gate pattern, and something say random into the trigger on the module gives us this nice kind of stacked double envelope behaviour, feels more dynamic, feels much more lively. Now we can of course not use an envelope and say use sample and hold to the CV input. So we're dynamically and randomly moving this CV up and down. I'm going to trigger this as well. Nice lively modulation. Now of course non-random triggers and non-random CV, maybe a set sequence and a set gate pattern, can be much more musical and repetitive and loopable should you wish. Now using the VCA mode, because we're not losing that top end from the filtering, we get this nice buzzy character to it. And to my ear, this works really well when we kind of stack those envelopes again. So here we'll look at the configurable resonance. The jumper is currently on the back of the module, as per this picture on screen, so it's the lower resonance mode. In the VCF mode, we've got a simple saw wave tuned to note C2 coming in, and here's what that filter sounds like. some random triggers. And here it is through the magic of video editing with the jumper off and the higher resonance setting. Some random triggers. And a sweep with the jumper on, lower resonance. And the jumper off, higher resonance. So to finish on, here's using that higher resonance setting with the jumper off for some acid. Now this is offset and open. I've got a nice tight envelope into the CV input. The output is going into a multi-band distortion and then mixed with this cymbal noise, both being sidechained against the kick and in my mix. So hit like, subscribe, support the work that I do on patreon.com/DivKid. Leave a comment and I'll see you next time. Cheers for watching. Bye.